Try one simple thing right now. Take your phone and check your screen time statistics. First, look at how much time you spend on your phone every day and which apps take most of it. Second, notice how often you unlock your phone during the day. Most likely, numbers will surprise you. And the problem is not just how many hours we spend on our phones, it is how often we come back to them.
Many of us already feel it. We want to slow down, scroll less, get distracted less, be more focused. But if we understand this and feel it, why doesn't anything change? To find the answer, we need to start with how our brain works. Before we even look at the screen, we already know one thing. The phone tells us, hey, there is something you should pay attention to. We don't know what it is yet. Is it a message? Work-related? Something important? Uncertainty appears, and uncertainty almost always creates anxiety. And the simplest way to get rid of that anxiety is to take the phone and check.
Now imagine we repeat this not once, but dozens, sometimes hundreds times a day. Then something else happens. Notifications don't even need to appear anymore.
We start checking the phone in advance, refreshing email, refreshing the feed, opening social media, just to make sure we haven't missed anything. What if there is a new message, a like, something new? This is how the phone exploits our anxiety to keep our attention. And the longer we stay in this loop, the more anxious our mind becomes.
It may seem strange, why would anyone need our attention at all? Is it really that important? The answer is simple. Yes, it is.
Social media was originally created as a tool for connection, but once advertising came in, the goal changed. Now the main objective is to capture and hold as much attention as possible. That's how endless feeds and interest-based recommendations appeared. We no longer see content only from people we follow. We see content from anyone, as long as we don't leave the platform.
This isn't a secret anymore. Technology companies track almost all actions we take. Clicks, swipes, scroll, watch time. All of this is used to influence how we think, how we feel, and how we behave. And the final goal is to sell as much as possible.
The easiest way to do this is to keep a person in a distracted state, because in that state we are more likely to make spontaneous, unconsidered, and irrational decisions. The more scattered our attention is, the easier it becomes to control us. And here is the key point. Our attention is not stolen by force. We give it away voluntarily, most of the time without even noticing. There is a huge gap between what we say we value and what we actually spend our time on. If we don't consciously return to our values and don't set any limits, we simply get pulled in.
Pay attention to yourself. What do you do when you are bored? When there is no clear task? When there is a pause? Almost always, the phone. This is reactive unconscious behavior. It is very easy not to think and just to open the feed. And the most important part here is that this dopamine is free.
But social media is free for one reason only, because we pay with our time and our attention. That's why platforms don't promote slow and deep content. They promote fast, emotional, and overstimulating content. And the result is simple. We lose the ability to concentrate. For many people, even 10 minutes without constant stimulation has become difficult.
A long time ago, I came to a simple conclusion. The ability to control our attention and consciously choose where to direct it is one of the most powerful skills. And probably that's exactly why it is one of the hardest. Just think about the phrase, to control your attention and consciously choose where to direct it. That's freedom.
No one takes this freedom from us directly. We give it up ourselves, voluntarily. We fall in love with technologies that slowly destroy our ability to think deeply and for a long time. On one hand, these technologies are one of the human's greatest achievements, a powerful tool for learning, coordination, and creating complex systems and ideas. On the other hand, they can become a direct path to degradation and submission.
The difference between these two outcomes is very thin, and it runs exactly through the level of conscious effort we're willing to apply to ourselves.
The problem is not just that we get distracted more often. The real problem is that we stop living our continuous whole life. We stop experiencing the present moment. Our attention is constantly fragmented. Physically, we're here, but mentally, we're everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
I felt this contrast especially clearly when I bought my first motorcycle and started riding every day.
In a car, you can be on autopilot, you can get distracted, you can zone out. On a motorcycle, you cannot. You can't be half present. It's either full focus or risk. Any second of distractions has immediate consequences. And in that moment, you are fully returned to the present. No thoughts about the feed, no background noise, no internal chatter. Just you in the moment.
And that's when it becomes obvious. Everything truly valuable in life requires sustained attention.
Deep work, learning, relationships, creating something of your own. None of these things are born from short clips, notifications, or endless scrolling.
It's also not a coincidence that many fundamental achievements of human civilization were created through the ability to concentrate deeply, to do quiet, introverted, focused work.
It's important to understand one key thing. Technology itself doesn't make us weaker. It only amplifies what is already there. If there is a discipline and thinking, technology strengthens them. If there is distraction and addiction, it strengthens that too. So the question is not about rejecting technology. The real question is about taking control back, consciously choosing what you consume and where your attention goes.
So how do you actually do this? The first thing that comes to my mind is simple. Just delete the app. It's radical, and sometimes it really works. But there are two problems with this approach. The first one is that it doesn't build self-control. You're just removing the source of temptation instead of learning how to manage yourself. As soon as access comes back, everything quickly returns to the way it was. The second problem is usefulness. If your work, business, or blog is connected to social media, you cannot just erase it from your life. That's why my goal was different, not to run away from technology, but to learn how to manage my attention while getting maximum benefits and minimum harm. Here are a few methods I personally use. They may seem simple, but they work if you apply them consistently.
First, notification control. Your phone shouldn't decide when you get distracted. Most of what arrives during the day doesn't require an immediate reaction. I turned off everything unnecessary and left only what truly matters. After that, it suddenly became clear that there isn't that much truly important stuff on the phone. Focus increases, life becomes simpler. Second, conscious work with incoming messages. I stopped reacting to everything instantly. For non-urgent messages and notifications, I have dedicated time blocks. This removed the constant pulling of attention and brought back a sense of control.
Third, living by a schedule. This is a deep topic and I will talk about it in a separate video. But in short, I keep nothing in my head.
All tasks live in a system. I see my time as a whole, set priorities and place things into the schedule consciously, not impulsively. This kind of planning helps you follow reason, not impulses. Fourth, screen time control. I try not to spend more than an hour a day on social media, keeping in mind that part of that time is work, not consumption. Built-in limits are easy to turn off, so I use third-party apps that physically restrict access and prevent automatic scrolling. This is not about prohibition, it's about creating the right conditions.
And finally, the most important part, developing concentration itself. It's not enough just to remove distractions, focus has to be trained.
Concentration works like a muscle. To grow, it needs resistance. The simplest way is reading. Reading requires attention, holding a thought, and presence. It's not about just looking at text, but actually understanding what you are reading. Other practices work too. Writing, reflection, meditation. If you constantly dedicate even 30 to 60 minutes a day to this, over time distractions become weaker and doing deep, complex mental work becomes much easier.
If I look back a few years and honestly analyze my life, I can say with confidence that the most tangible results came from periods of deep focus on a few key projects or tasks. I don't consider my results outstanding, everything is relative, and there is still a huge amount of room to grow, and my ability to manage attention is far from perfect. I still get distracted, I still lose focus, sometimes it is still hard to make myself sit down and do deep, demanding mental work. But if I compare myself with who I was in the past, the difference is obvious. And for me, that's what matters most.
Not comparison with others, but a clear direction and the feeling that you are becoming a little better than yesterday. The quality of our life directly depends on the quality of our inputs. Videos, music, books, people, thoughts, inner dialogue, all of this shapes us every single day. Reading requires effort. You have to follow the author's thought, question it, think. Audiovisual media works differently. It affects us through images, emotions, and music. Often emotion replaces logic and visuals replace arguments.
That's not good or bad, it's simply important to understand. We can still get a lot of value from this format too. In fact, that's the goal of this video as well, to bring value into the world.
The problem begins when we become prisoners of short stimuli, fast dopamine, and content that exploits our psyche and pushes us towards procrastination. Another important thing is the inner dialogue. There are so many sources of dopamine around us that we have forgotten how to be alone with ourselves. We have forgotten how to be bored. Any pause feels like discomfort that we immediately want to silence with a phone. But it's in these pauses that attention comes back and mental clarity appears. Changing habits is hard, breaking dependencies is even harder. But over time, this process starts to feel right, because pleasure is largely a matter of habit. By repeating a behavior, we train the brain to get pleasure from it. And over time, we begin to enjoy it.
Thank you for watching till the end. If this video was useful, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss new episodes. And take care of your attention. It is one of the most important resources we have. See you.